Hello, students. Hope you all are doing good. So, now the topic is internationalization of rupee. I try my level best to explain you by making you understand, even with the basic economic concepts like inflation, appreciation of currency, concepts like Vastro accounts, masala bonds, etc. So, let's get started. So, our India rupee is getting depreciated day by day. In 1947, $1 is 3.3 rupees. In 1985, $1 is around 12 rupees. In 2002, as of present, $1 is 82.42 Indian rupees. Now the question is how this value is determined. So it is determined by the imports and exports globally. Okay, most percentage is determined by this only. So, to explain you from point to point, I'll try to take an example. So, if the onion prices have gone up, we stop eating onions or consume very less. So, if we stop purchasing onions automatically for 4 days or 5 days, the prices will decrease. So, the rise in the prices of onion initially is called inflation. Okay, when the onion price rises due to its huge demand, that is called inflation. So when there is a huge demand in goods, the prices increase. Similarly, in the global level also, due to the Russia-Ukraine war, there were disruptions in trade and the demand for petroleum has gone up. When the demand for petroleum has gone up, that means the prices of that will increase. Thus, there will be a global inflation. Okay, what is inflation? When the demand for goods and services increases, that means the prices also will increase. So, for this, there was a global inflation. So, to counter the inflation, that is, to bring down the prices, we have two ways. One is to stop buying the petrol, and the other is to stop the circulation of money in the global level. First option, we can't choose the first option because for running of industries, trading, traveling, petroleum is very important. So all the central banks choose this second option called to stop circulating the money. Now there will be a question in your mind: how the circulation of money will be decreased, right? And what if the circulation of money decreases? So these are the two main questions. Let's go with the first question: what if circulation of money decreases? Okay, so if the circulation of money decrease, that means the value of goods and services decreases. If there is no money, then automatically the prices also will decrease. And if in practical term and in the global level, the circulation of money decreased implies the demand for money has increased. That means the dollar value is increased. Why I am mentioning only dollar? That means in global level, most of the countries will trade in dollars. So generally the global currency is dollars. So the dollar appreciation takes place, because if there is like in this inflation, like when the global crisis occurs, the money value increases. Immediately the central banks raise interest rates so as to increase the dollar appreciation. Okay, so dollar appreciation takes place. Dollar appreciation means the increase in the dollar value. And now let's go for the second question. The second question is how the circulation of money decreases. How can the circulation of money can be decreased, and that too in the global market? So when there is a huge demand for petroleum and countries are spending more and more dollars to buy petroleum, then there will be a shortage of money globally as everyone are spending it in huge amounts. That situation should not happen, because if that situation happens or the shortage of US dollars happen globally, then the great economic depression takes place. Many people will lose employment and many businesses will collapse. It previously happened from 1929 to 39. So, to control their own countries from all these situations, all the central banks will stop the circulation of money by raising interest rates. Understand carefully here, by raising interest rates, this is important part of economy. Okay, so all the central banks want to increase the interest rate so that the circulation of money decreases and the demand for the goods and services also decrease. That means when all the central banks raise interest rates, what will happen and how that will decrease the circulation of money globally? So here, for the first question, when the central banks of a country raise the interest rates, all the local banks in the country will stop borrowing money from that central bank. See, if you want money and you wish to borrow some amount, you will first see the interest rate, right? If the interest rate is more, you will not borrow it. And if the interest rate is less, you will borrow it. The same concept is applicable even to the global level as well. When the central banks raises the interest rates, normal bank stops borrowing money, and if normal bank stops borrowing money, uh, the normal banks also will raise its interest rate, as there will be a shortage of money for them as well. So, like this, when the central bank raises interest rates, the circulation of money decreases and the value of money rises. Same, this happened. The US dollars are the major global currency. So, the value of US dollars has taken place, and in economic terms, there was appreciation of US dollars. So, when the value of US dollars appreciates, then the Indian rupee value depreciates more. It has come to 82.42 rupees for $1 as of now. That means our value, our money value, that is the Indian currency, is decreasing more and more when the dollar value is increasing. And this is happening due to the trade imbalances, and other main reason is because we trade in dollars. From there comes the new idea called the internationalization of rupee. I'm sorry. So recently, central bank made changes in the foreign trade policy to make exports and imports in rupees. This is not very new for us. Even before 1960s, we used to trade with rupee only in countries like this: Qatar, United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, Malaysia. But due to dollarization, we used to make 86% of imports and exports in dollars only. But now our rupee value is depreciating day by day. For us, the only solution is internationalization of rupee. Exporting and importing in rupees. Now, one of the, so one more question arises: how can we buy petroleum from Russia using our Indian dollars, right? So here the Russian currency is in rubles. So to solve this problem, special Vostro accounts has come into picture. So here, imagine if you are India and if I am Russia, I'll set up a bank in your country and you will set up a bank in my country. And if I buy anything from you, I will give rubles currency to you. Okay, so I will pay ruble currency to an account in the bank which converts the ruble currency into rupee currency and gives to you. So that account which converts this currency from ruble to rupee, that by a bank, that account is called special Vostro account. As simple as that. And by doing more activities like this, India wants to increase the rupee acceptance across the globe, not only in Russia. It also wants to make trade in rupees in all these countries and many other countries. So recently, some activities for internationalization of rupee were also taken place. One is this one by creating special Vostro accounts, and the other is by masala bonds. Here, masala bonds. So if anybody overseas want money, India has given permission to the Indian corporates to issue rupees as bonds to other countries. I also want to explain the concept of bonds with an example. So think I am Russia, US and other NATO countries made several sanctions on me. Okay, I am Russia. US and other NATO countries have made sanctions on me. I want wheat and other food products. So what I will do is, through this concept of masala bonds, I will borrow money from the Indian corporates for a fixed interest amount and use that borrowed Indian currency to buy my basic food necessities from India. And now you think, students, did the rupee currency involve to trade with Russia and India? Yes, through this masala bonds. So slowly India want to internationalize its rupee like this. India has also introduced currency swaps with 23 countries, started making trade settlements in rupees through special Vostro accounts by lending Indian currency at low interest rate, etc. Some changes are also done by India. So making changes in foreign trade policy, allowing rupees as currency in international trade, and some new schemes were also launched, that is duty free import authorization scheme, export promotion capital goods scheme. So all these are the schemes and the initiatives by the government to internationalize rupee. So now let's look into the benefits of internationalization of rupee. The first one is Indian currency will be stable even if there are global trade imbalances. And the next one is the transaction cost between two countries will be low. And here there will be minimum interest rate differential. So this interest rate differential means the change in the interest rates between currencies of two countries. And the global vulnerability and global economic shocks can show very less effect on us. And this also helps us to improve imports and exports. And it reduces the need of holding the foreign exchange reserves. So these are all some of the benefits. Now coming to the challenges of internationalization of rupee. The first one is RBI control on domestic money supply may be weakened. And when the economic activity decreases globally or when global recession takes place, the non-residents can convert their rupee holdings and move off, causing risk. And the other one is there will be a higher responsibility for the central bank to maintain and control international financial stability and monetary systems. So these are some of the challenges involved in internationalization of rupee. Coming to the way forward, so debt flows and debt capital should be properly regulated so as to keep away from the economic instability, and developing deep domestic financial market and also its infrastructure for efficient funding and proper money flow, and should be able to sustain the external shocks as well. And the next is should do all the activities needed for increasing the rupee acceptance in all the countries. Example, increasing exports, increasing tourism, also by publicizing more upon the unique things done in India like Ayurveda, local food items, local fruits, etc., so that our exports and economic activity increases. And the last one is proper regulation and policies should be made to safeguard rupee and preventing it from depreciation in the global markets. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. If you like it, do subscribe it.